Page 61, Silent Night. A very famous Christmas tune. Probably familiar with it. You'll have the tendency to play it sort of like what you're used to hearing. Don't. We need to play it just like it's written. So be careful because they may change things in this arrangement and you need to be aware of that. After you've learned it, since it is an arrangement, if you want to rearrange it and do it however you want to, that's fine. But first, learn it the way it's written, exactly the way it's written. 3/4 time, no sharps or flats, so it's what, C major or A minor? Huh? Well, look at the end. The last couple measures, you're here. That's a C major chord. I'm guessing it's C major. Right hand, start third finger here. And you got this dotted rhythm, 1 and 2 and. Remember the rule for dotted rhythms? The quarter note gets a beat, the dot gets half of that, or half a beat. Put them together, it's 1.5 beats. So the 8th note comes on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and. So the dot comes on 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and. And that's the trickiest part about the rhythm. So you're here, going into the second line, reach up here, and then claps the hand. Third line, you're starting here, 1 and 2. Now, third finger on that A, so it's 1 and 2. Then reach down with the thumb. We're moving around a little bit. We're kind of crawling around like a spider here. And then fourth finger, and then second finger. I like that. Using 2 different fingers on repeated notes. I like that. There are other fingerings that'll work, but this is a good fingering. Let's do that. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Third finger again. Reach down. Now it's fifth finger and third finger. I like that too. And then you get one measure rest and you come all the way back down here. There. That's the right hand. The left hand for the most part is just accompanying these broken chords. Keep it soft. I'm just transferring weight from note to note. I'm just rolling the hand very softly. And the left hand pretty much is legato. But just connect all these. Second line, you're here. Watch the notes. Third line, you're rest. 1, 2, you got to reach up with the thumb. Rest, 1, rest. So you're moving around a little bit in the left hand, but not much. And the next to the last line, you're in treble clef. You got to come up here. Now, they gave you a treble clef sign at the end of that, next to the last line. I think that's an error. You're already in treble clef. You don't need another one. So you're going to stay in treble clef until they tell you something else. So that treble clef sign at the next to the last line is incorrect, I think. The treble clef sign and the fourth line at the end, that you need, because they're telling you you're going to go into treble clef. They always tell you a little bit early, like before the bar line it happens. But on the next line they don't need that there. But you're treble clef anyway, and you're up here. You move. So you're here and just move. And then you got 2 beats rest, and the bass clef is back so you can come down here. And then those notes are tied. You hold it down for 4 counts. So work it out one hand at a time, and then put the hands together slowly. So you can tell how the notes line up in the music, that 8th note is between the 2 quarter notes in the left hand. And that helps to line them up too. If you keep the left hand steady, so work this out slowly with both hands to make sure you've got the notes and the fingering correct. Then we go back and add in these slurs. I just added, just lift up between each slur. And the third line, they don't give you any slurs because it's all connected. And lift up at the end of the third line. It's the end of a phrase, so lift up. Then the fourth line is all connected. And lift up at the end of the fourth line. It's the end of a phrase. And then the next line is all connected. And then lift up there before you play this note in the left hand. It's a new phrase. And then connect all of this in the last line. Because all of this is melody. The two hands are sharing it there, and it's all got to be connected. That's the phrasing. The left hand, for the most part, is all just connected. So you're only lifting up the right hand. That first line, you're here. You just lift up the right hand, not the left hand. Just the right hand. This dee dee bum ba da dum do rest. It's a nice effect if you can keep it all straight, because the different rhythms in each hand is a little tricky. Takes some practice. You have to go, I'm guessing, a little slower, and I just played it. Then you can add the dynamics. The dynamics here, they don't give you much, and they're just suggestions. So I suggest you get to know the piece, probably already familiar with the song, and then feel the dynamics, because you're getting a little louder and softer as you feel. So I tend to want to, and then I come out. And then here. Make sure in the second line here, make sure that dotted half note is a little louder than the quarter note. When we go to here, you think go to here, to here, and to here. People will they'll play the first note louder. The other way around, because the dotted half notes on, that's a natural accent. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So put a little, feel that natural accent at the beginning of this, of each measure, and it'll help you in playing it. So the crescendos and all that stuff, feel this stuff. They have one marked in the next to the last. And then come off. And that fermata, you just linger on that a little while. How long do you think? Whatever it feels right. When I play with a metronome, I'll double it. So instead of 3 counts, I'll hold that for 6 counts and then go on. And this is soft, that's fine. The melody is soft. At the end, that's got to be very soft in the left hand. We want to hear the melody. Oh, when we add all these other things, suddenly it's not such a simple piece anymore. It's a challenging piece to really get it well. At the bottom of the beginning of the last line, you see that P, a tempo. P is for piano, to play it soft, okay? The a tempo means resume the speed you were going. Well, we didn't change speeds here. They're kind of, either they forgot to put in the retardando, or they're thinking maybe you did it. So if you did slow down in the previous line, make sure you go back to your regular speed you were going. So in that next to the last line, you might slow down. You tendency to slow that down some. Can if you want to, it's an interpretive thing. But if you do, make sure you go back to the regular tempo here. That's what the off tempo is for. Otherwise, they don't need anything there. You're going to be off tempo anyway because you never changed. Speed wise, you'll hear recordings of this. Andante is a nice casual stroll. 1, 2, 3. It's a nice piece to fall asleep to. So forth. Let's play it together slowly to double check what we have the right notes and rhythms. I'm guessing you probably do on this piece, but there's some tricky things going on in the rhythms in the middle of it. We gotta make sure we have that correct. So I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go. 1. 2, go on. 1, 2, 3, hold, tie, whatever, and it's the end of it. Yay, team.